everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm picking up where I left off my SOMA game. Oh yeah, and happy Halloween, by the way. um, yeah, seems appropriate to play a bit of horror game. I mean, been playing it all this past month. It'd be nice if I can finish it up today, but I have a time limit of a couple of hours because I want to get ready to, give candies to the trick-or-treaters as they come by. I mean, I might even have people knock on my door while I'm sitting here doing this, for that matter. Anyway, what have we got here? Simon has reached the bottom of the abyss and will now have to traverse the harsh environment in order to get to Tau, where the Ark is said to be. Uh-huh. Yep, sounds about right. Yeah, the harsh indeed. It was that was a rough stretch in that last session. Trying to navigate the bottom of the ocean. It's there's some pretty cool like visual and audio effects during that. Like it was very atmospheric, very well put together. Very yeah, it very much does a good job of conveying the just the general harshness of the environment down there, and the discomfort of seeing various what do you call them, anglerfish and whatever that Leviathan-like thing was. Yeah. Yeah, up till now, the outside parts, the underwater parts have been largely, largely pretty safe so far in this game, so it's a bit different to have such a harsh environment. Yeah. Don't usually stream at this time of day. I notice I haven't got any viewers yet. I'm sure some people will come by soon. Incidentally, if you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, check out my Twitch channel. You can see these things live. Oh, now I have one viewer. Yeah. Just waiting for this to load. Trying to fill in time. But yeah. Yeah, at some point I am gonna have to end the stream so I can attend to the kids getting receiving candy for Halloween stuff. I made a jack-o'-lantern. I'll show it later. Probably should have showed it while while this was loading. Although there was no one watching, so it was kind of pointless. I'll show it at the end of the stream before I put it out there. It's all carved up, ready to go. It was kind of a simple design. Previous years, I had made like an emoji with like tongue sticking out or having fangs or whatever. But anyway, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, that's the way out. I believe this is the Tau facility. Am I going to get to go inside? This is the airlock here. The thickness of the door, it just kind of emphasizes the fact that these are like deep pressure conditions. Because we're like 4 kilometers below sea level here. Oh. Okay. Just froze. What? Yeah, 4 kilometers below sea level. That's
Never been happier to be inside. Let's find the Ark.
It's deeper than you can go in Subnautica. Dive room? I'll check it out. Oh, another one of these.
Welcome to Tau. What's left of it.
Are you guys all right? What happened here?
We ran out of real food long ago. People have been getting sick. Haven't heard from anyone in months.
No shit, they all think you're dead down here. Some failed evac story circulating at Omicron.
Oh, God.
Listen, son. We're on an important mission, and we need your help to operate the Omega space gun. When it's done, we can all head back up the plateau. But now we need to get moving.
Of course. Head on through to the habitat. We shut off the front section to preserve power.
All right, see you soon.
Yeah, at what point did the evacuation happen? Is like evacuation happened long before the something eerie about seeing the full bodysuit hanging there. Did I just swing? It's probably the symptom because I took damage earlier. Suit status? Let's check this out. It's just signal loss, active Tau, and then signal loss. Is there someone around here? Is like it says suit status. Yeah. Okay. So it's tracking the suit. Somebody. Like these other ones, I'm assuming are not going to be here. Should I be concerned about this? The answer is probably. Still lurching around because of the injury. Anyway, V. Eau Claire. Okay, we're learning the cast of the coming section, I guess. Like Glasser is the guy they were just talking to. The rest of these are names I don't recognize. What's for this? What's with the glitch text here? For sub J wow R. Why does that seem familiar? I feel like I'll have to review the previous recording. I feel like that popped up before. Like I remember. No, it was getting into, was it Omicron? Whatever facility it was that was under quarantine and needed to get the road access, get the password, and then something, the stream glitched out, and then it gave the password. And that symbol, I believe that string of characters appeared on the screen. So, Omicron, Climber Station, and we're down here, right? This is tracking, like, what's it tracking up here? I thought they were unable to communicate with the higher facilities. Okay, I get to heal. Oh, really? Airlock pressurizing? I guess, you know, when I came in, there's an alarm sound. Why is there an airlock pressuring now? Is there another airlock somewhere? Or did someone just come in? I'm a little nervous. Maintenance. Okay, what? My imagination is distorted. Okay, maybe it's just a cable. Okay. Do not operate machinery without safeguards. This is a service station. Okay. Does this one work? Is that robot gonna come to life? The fact that the broken on the tool. The fact that the alarm went again and saying that the airlock was pressurizing just makes me wonder if Like, no one could have followed me. Like, the whole thing has been abandoned for years, right? Or something. Okay, I guess that's where I am. That's the airlock I just came in. This is unopenable. What are these symbols up here? Do those indicate other people? I'm curious. Sorry, like the like I said, airlock pressurizing kind of makes me wonder about going back to the airlock. I don't have the option of going back out or anything. Okay. Okay, that map. Does it indicate where there's another airlock? Like it doesn't. Like this isn't even labeled as an airlock. Should I presume that this rectangle is an airlock? I don't know. I don't know. Let's take a look what's through here. We're gonna explore. This light switch? Does this work? Okay. Let's keep things lit as much as we can. Of course, now that I said that, there's probably gonna be. I'm probably gonna get stalked by some monster that it's better to be in darkness for, or something like that. Okay. Back out here again. Okay, so like this looks like an airlock. It's got the little Tau symbol on it, but yeah, it seems like it's overgrown and with WoW stuff and yeah. Okay. Alright, this seems to be the only way to go. We get to watch all 8 of them go. Is this building to something? This is really ominous. Should I hide? It's a heck of a bulkhead, I was about to say. Hide. Oh, let's turn the flashlight off. Okay, well, it do be like that sometimes. In this game, it do be like that a lot, quite frankly. Sneak, sneak, sneak. Okay, maybe I'll turn the lights off after all. Like maybe it'll help me hide. There he is. Oh great. I didn't mean. I think I just tripped over something. Okay, if he's in the other room, then I'm gonna sneak through here. Sneak, sneak, sneak. I'm just going, just slowly crawling along because I try to avoid making noise. I don't know if he's attracted by noise or what. I should have studied that map better. Which way am I going? I don't even know. I don't know what my destination is anyway. Might as well just explore everything. Is he following me? This is going to make a lot of noise, isn't it? Close, thank you. Shoot. Is he able to open doors? Clever girl. Ah, frig. Frig. Which way did I... Oh, yeah. Over here is where that... Okay, alright. Explore before you can catch up with me. Is he, like, tracking me by smell or something? What? Okay, whatever here. Guess we're climbing. The heck? Okay. Can that thing climb? Can I see it? Outside here? I'm just sneaking around slowly here. Okay, what is this door? What does this do? Just the door over there? Okay. Oh. I can't open it. I just seal myself inside here? Is this, is there a cutscene coming up? Alright. Okay. Point of no return? Alright. I mean, if there's a monster on the other side of this door here, I'm just, doesn't seem to be any way to avoid it. Ladder's broken, I can't go back. It's unlocked. This is the living quarters, I guess? There were a couple of rooms that were labeled living area. Well, living quarters. It's. I don't know. I think the living area might have been further to the east. This guy again? You say we have to leave. What do you mean? Shall I interface with this thing again? I'm not injured. It sort of feels like I should. Whatever. I'll do it anyway. I mean, it sort of feels like I should save these for.
Move on, Simon.
Like save these for when I'm injured. But on the other hand, oh. Oh crap. Tap into someone's black box here.
What the fuck did we do?
Hey, try not to think about it.
My whole life, I've been a good man. We messed up, Sarah.
There.
I should have launched. Taken the chance.
There's time. If Ashkin says we could try again, when things calm down.
You gotta do it, you know. You got to.
Oh dear. You okay, buddy? Again, another semi... Ivashkin? Alexei? What? The subtitles... The subtitle says Ivashkin, like, hey, Marcy, welcome to the stream. I'm playing SOMA. You know, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, by the way. Seems fitting to play a horror game. Right. So this is Ivashkin? I get the feeling the WoW is turning everyone into semi-mechanical things. Like, I don't know, like maybe the WoW changed its plans, like transferring people into robots wasn't good enough and decided to create new life or something. What's this? Oh, okay, that's just the picture. Looks like he... Oh, what? What's this? Oh, this... Feel something is... It's a picture of Catherine. I mean, it's the group picture, but Catherine's torn off. It's in his hand. What's up with that? Like, the subtitle said hill when it... Can't stay long, my phone's at 6%. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping by for the little time that you can. Okay, the figure that I just saw out here, it looks like that. Yeah, I know, you said that before. What else we got here? Okay. Ordinary bathroom. Happy Halloween. Okay. Hmm? Is he talking to me? I mean, he addressed me as Simon a moment ago. Like, he's aware that he's talking to me. He's not just talking at random. We're gonna find the bodies of everyone in here?
Can't we do anything for him?
No, we're out of sedatives. If we had a gun, this would be the time to pull it out.
Did not expect it to end like this. Should have jumped the climber back to Omicron.
Without the Ark?
Forget about the Ark.
No, you don't get to say that. It's the only thing left of value. You know that.
Yeah.
Promise you won't leave it behind.
We'll all be dead one day. Then what?
Well, better keep it safe until then. Don't want the WoW to take it, swallow it whole.
I'm sorry, Catherine.
It's okay, Ian. Just let it out. Let it all out.
So this is Ian Peterson. That's the name that we've seen all those times up till now. Ariadne's Ocean? Isn't Ariadne like a Greek mythic figure who... Isn't the guy that let... was it Perseus out of the labyrinth or something? Or... I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. Need to brush up on my Greek literature. Greek mythology. I could be totally wrong about that. It just... Anyway. So... Oh, what? These people being consumed by the WoW? Like, there's an arm there, there's a person, but there's like nothing human left of him, it looks like. Same with this person too. Yeesh, okay. Like, what is it turning him into here? Ah, it's so bizarre. Ah, but yeah, apparently, it seems that they got, I don't know, they got trapped, they got isolated, they got cut off from going back in the climber. Like, they were supposed to go back up in the climber to get back up to Omicron. Did something cut them off from doing that, or did they decide that it was a bad idea to go back up? Like, remotely locked. Johann Ross. Oh, really? Okay. Right, because they said Ross was the one person who came back up. So this was, he was stationed, like he's the one, like the one person who was stationed in Tau out of that group. Okay, which way did I come from? Was it this one? Yeah, there's the broken ladder. Dispatch. Okay. Before I check that out, dive room. Okay. I want to make sure I check it. I want to check everything else out on this floor before I go to other floors. Oh, great. Okay. Infirmary. What? Why is there a ladder going up to the infirmary? Like, if someone's injured, you're gonna make them climb a ladder? Like, should the infirmary be on the same floor? Like, the infirmary of all places, you wouldn't want it up top of a ladder. Oh well.
Go away, wow.
Oh.
I'm letting you or your stupid pets inside.
Someone, Lindwall. Is Lindwall still alive? She said, "Go away, WoW." So, like, that suggests that she hasn't been overtaken by the WoW yet. Like these poor souls down here. Okay, dive room, dispatch. Let's try dispatch. Maybe there'll be some means of communicating. Move aside. But over here. Report form 3AF. Alright, I just clicked to bring up the subtitle. January 12th, what year is this? January 12th, minor structural damage, radio knocked out. January 17, communications recovered. Omicron and the rest of Pathos 2 are alright! Exclamation point. April 3rd, cross-site radio failing. Lumar probes keeps losing the link. Yeah, that was one of the things they kept emphasizing. They lost the Lumar probes, and then they weren't able to communicate between Omicron and Tau. Urgent fix needed. Tau can't retrieve the climber until the link is working. April 11, visited by SSE Wilczek, Dahl, and Holland. Wilczek got around, eh? System of bi-weekly visits established until communications Lumar back at 100%. September 13, evacuation of Tau ordered. We're all leaving for Omicron. September 15, swarmed by monsters and no radio. We're screwed. Well, it doesn't say screwed, but you know. Swarmed by monsters. Evacuation of Tau ordered on September 13th. I'm still trying to piece together the timeline in this thing. Because Tau was ordered to be evacuated before the whole Ark thing came about, and then they came down. Tau transport line. This goes, yes, between Tau and Phi. I see. Tau quarters access. So, okay, so looking at the right side of the map there, so there is a door from the quarters. Intermediate wet storage assembly access. And there's a secondary dotted line. Launch site access dome assembly tool sheds. Okay. But, you know, I tried to move this chair aside. What do we got here? Transmission. Oh. Sun, Theta, Lambda. They all say offline. Lisbon? Unable to establish connection. Yeah, they're unable to connect with the above. Upsons are restarted. Like you're not gonna be able to communicate with any of them. But just out of wanting to be completionists and stuff, I'm gonna try. Is this a waste of time? I think that's probably. These are all the locations I've been to so far in this game, except for Phi and Omega. Omicron is where I just was. Yeah, not expecting any of these to work. But Lindwall's voice answered over at the infirmary. Like, could she still be alive? Like, everyone else is like dying one by one. I mean, for all we know, maybe the WoW just transferred her into some kind of robot body. Maybe she's like the others, is not aware that she's a robot. Omicron Herber. The comm logs. Herber was calling here a lot. And then Phi, there's someone named Silkowski. Herber was up to something. There are all those recordings of her in the previous session, and she was like, her body's in the dive. Well, her body is presently in the dive suit. She finally got to Tau, not in the shape that she wanted to be. You know, Simon's gonna have a hard time explaining, like, if she does get through to Lindwall, she's gonna have a hard time explaining why is there a dead body inside of him. It's really grim. It's really rather morbid thing that yeah. Door lock control. This is the infirmary? It says unmanned. Huh. Okay. I'll have to come back to Ross. Oh, the names of the people. Anji Kutsi, Espinoza Renata, those are the ones that were extra deformed. Vic O'Clair, Steve Glasser, Jin Yoshida. That's the bathroom. Dispatch, that's where I am right now. Are those actually the... But no, those I was going to say, are these the people here? But no, these are not the people that are in there, because Hale was in here and Ian Peterson was in here. My status. Access tunnels. No feedback. So, access tunnels, Phi Tau unstable, Phi proper. Launch site okay, mission control okay, assembler okay, site fully operational. So what stopped them from launching? I mean, the implication was they didn't want WoW to corrupt the Ark. Like they were trying to keep the Ark away from the WoW. Like maybe they had to seal it away. Omega Space Gun, flexible barrel, 70 to 90 meters, payload max 10 tons, speed max 42,000 kilometers per hour. Why is the Omega Space Gun underwater in the first place? Like any payload they launch has to be able to withstand the pressure of being 4,000. Has to be able to withstand the deep pressure, but also has to be light enough that it can be launched into space. Like, so it has to be both heavy and light. It seems a bit odd. I mean, like generally speaking, you know, for something to withstand deep pressure needs to be heavy, but in order to go up into space, you want it to be light. This thing is, being out in space, it only needs to be able to withstand 1 atmosphere of pressure, whereas when you're underwater, you might need, like, probably need to withstand like 40 atmospheres of pressure. Big difference. I'm afraid of what I'm going to find in here. Is that her? Is that Lindwall? Sarah Lindwall, I believe is her name?
You're different. Go ahead. Make yourself at home. Don't mind me.
Are you human?
Sarah Lindwall. Payload technician at your service. A rare sight, am I right?
I'd say so. You're the first normal living human I've seen.
There's not many left down here. Most of them are up on the plateau.
You mean at Omicron?
Yeah.
There's no one alive at Omicron.
You've been there?
I've been all over. The power plant at Upsilon, the ruins of Lambda, the abandoned Delta, Theta.
You've been to Theta?
There's not a lot left of Pathos 2.
And, I'm the only living person you've met? You mean I'm the last living human on the planet?
I'm sorry.
Who are you again?
Simon Jarrett.
Stationed out?
Nowhere. I used to work in a bookshop in Toronto. Long story.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
I'm trying to find the Ark.
Why would you? How do you know about that?
I've heard it's the last hope for mankind.
Damn right it is. Now what do you want with it?
Take it to the Gun at Phi. Launch it into space.
That was the plan, all right. I've been guarding it ever since we brought it back to Tau. Just couldn't bring myself to let go. Tell you the truth, I don't have the strength to argue. And I certainly don't have the time to wait for the next sentient thing shuffling through here. Go ahead. Take it.
Thank you. Can I get you anything? Do anything for you?
She's gonna ask me to kill her, right?
You could kill me.
Good one.
Achievement
I'm glad
unlocked.
you came by. Good to get this over with. I still can't believe I'm the last one. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw the disable button on her life support system. It's like, no.
If I knew you'd come, I would have cleaned this place up a little bit.
Huh.
You serious about me killing you?
No, I'd love to hang around here until I dry up to the size of a raisin. Simon, this fucking sucks. I don't want to live like this.
Shouldn't we be doing something to keep you alive?
Why?
You're the last human. I just find it disrespectful to our entire history not to fight this. Sure, we have the Ark, but you're the real deal.
Thanks. That's probably the best compliment I've ever got. But the truth is that the Ark is all we have. We'll have to accept second best, you know?
Be awkward if we find another human after this. So I can just pick this thing up? Like, do I strap it on my back or what?
Be my guest. I got no secrets worth keeping.
Intercom. Reactor control. Common area. Infirmary, that's where we are now. Eau Claire's office. Why does Eau Claire get special treatment? Door locks. 276. Okay. Is that Ross doing that? Photos. That one's up. Why is that one all glitchy? Okay. Are these... This isn't the team. What's all this? Oops. Corrupted data is detected. Restore files? Okay. You know, if it was me, I kind of want to ask Linval, like, what year is it? Like, how long has she been here? Like, we know there's a time jump, and it looks like years have passed, but we don't actually know how long it's been. How long has she been sitting here alone? Anyway, recent documents. Emergency food. Emergency food by Nutty Masters. A thorough look at what common chemicals and compounds found at Pathos 2 could keep you alive in emergency situations. Last access by Sarah Linval. What common chemicals and compounds? She's getting desperate to find food. Nutrition. Nutrition Through the Veins by Richard Holland. A manual on how to keep unconscious or comatose colleagues fed through intravenous drip. Last access by Sarah Linval. Alterations. Post-construction alterations by Astrid Creer. Guidance on how to make room for additional payload after the casing has been constructed and left Delta. Last access by Catherine Chun. How to make room for additional payload after the casing has been constructed. So she... Is this for the Ark, or was she planning to... Did she make some last-minute plan to add something in addition to the Ark to be launched? We don't really know what her intentions were after she left. Countryside from the before times. Let's just think of that again. Pardon me. Don't mind me just looking at stuff. Lots of nature photos. You know, Simon used to be a photographer at one time, I believe. Compact freight lift. Okay, well at least there's a lift going up into the infirmary. Just that the ladder wasn't the only way in. I don't know, should I do it? Should I disable her life support? I think I should get as much dialogue out of her as I can.
None of this feels right.
Simon, I want to die.
Sarah.
Just think about it. Please don't leave me like this. Good luck, Simon. Go ahead. Go save humanity. What's left of it.
I mean, okay, this comes back to that whole long rambling conversation I had in the last episode. Well, I can't call it a conversation when it was like just me by myself. But yeah, talk about assisted suicide and finding meaning in life and so on, and it's possible and probable. Like, she's been stuck in this state for years at this point, just sitting here waiting to die. And what's that? There's another. Am I able? I can't look at the pictures anymore. I think they're just more of the same. But yeah, like, I mean, coming back to what I was saying in the last session about like she's in a state where she can't contribute, and there's no one to share with, and like basically she's in a state where she's got nothing left to live for. So, you know, ending your life could be like the merciful thing to do. Like, she's apparently so far gone that she can't even reach over to do it herself. It's like she needs me to do it. Like, is she like paralyzed? I mean, she's dependent on an intravenous drip. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go use the washroom while I make up my mind. So yeah, it could go either way, really. I mean, if we consider in terms of like trying to get one ending or the other, I mean, I don't know how sophisticated the game is in terms of how like multiple endings or thing. But it would not surprise me if you have to either, because I had lots of options to kill or spare people along the way. Like Carl and Amy apparently didn't have to die. I left Robin alive. I left the other Simon alive. I don't know. I'm leaning towards putting Sarah out of her misery here. No comments in chat, so save a life support, okay, or cancel.
Would you stay with me, please?
Yeah.
It won't be long now. Please, just stay.
Yeah, sure. I can hang out for a bit.
Crazy thing this was. Life. We still won't have to turn 30. Hooray!
Okay. That puts a
I
ton.
could have died at home with my friends. You ever been to Greenland? It's very beautiful.
Is it? Huh. That was kind of icy.
At least when you get out of the city. Nanook is busy, and yes, there's like 12 million people trying to get around, but it's a great place. Or rather, it was a great place before the comet ended it all. You know what? I prefer it this way. I liked Pathos. Liked my colleagues. Ian, Nick, Jasper, even Catherine.
Even Catherine.
People thought she was weird because she was quiet, but she was cool. Simon, you still there?
I'm here, Sarah.
Don't let him die, okay? Send them out there. To the stars.
Is that it? Is she gone? Oh, I can tap into her black box as well?
Black box is inactive. Probably found a way to switch it off.
Huh. I wasn't able to put this thing down. Well, oh, that's it for humanity, I guess. Quick, turn it back on. No, just kidding. I mean, that's it for the human portion of humanity. I'm gonna have to do the rest of the game.
No way
like,
I can climb a ladder while carrying the ark like this.
push to call lift. There you go. Hope there isn't something inside there. There you go. Common room and dive room. I'll send it down to the common room. Before I pick it up, let's take a look around a bit here. Take a look in the dive room. How's it look out there? Had to rain on Halloween. Sucks when it rains on Halloween. Compact freight lift. So it's through here. Airlock pressurization hazard. Oh. Oh, wait, really? That doesn't seem right. Wasn't properly depressurized, it seems. I mean, I guess this is where I'm supposed to go. I feel like I didn't fully explore Tau. Oh, here goes. Okay, just set it down here. There you go. Status, waiting for cargo. Okay, type payload, weight 20 kilograms. User C Chun. So she logged in. Catherine logged in here, and oh wait, was I supposed to? Was I supposed to configure before attaching it? ID ARC001. Alright. Filling airlock. Pressure difference. Flood mechanism malfunction. Uh-oh. Sequence halted, unable to equalize pressure. I can't get out. There's nothing to swipe here. Nothing to click on here. Do I just have to break the pipe? I mean, it's not like we're going back. Does that thing move on its own? Okay. We're just gonna follow it all the way to Phi. Get this junk out of the way. Come on. Arc coming through. If I'd known that was a one-way thing going into the crew section, I would have tried to explore a bit more. Oh well. There's more stuff in the way? Or is that going to go over that? Okay. Yeah, it's puttering merrily along. Is it picking up speed? I feel like I should be able to grab onto it and like ride it there. I'm gonna have to I gonna have to go through one of those maintenance hatches, or... Oh! Oh, what a way to go. Oh, that sucks.
What the hell is wrong with this place?
It's nothing to worry about. Just the warden flexing his muscles.
The warden? You mean WoW?
Well, down here he has many names. Warden, the Alpha.
Like in Site Alpha? I thought that was made up.
Made up. Then someone should really fire Johann
Oh,
Ross.
frig.
Tell him there's no reason to walk these tunnels anymore.
This section is gonna collapse.
You should try spending some time in the abyss, sweetheart. You know when shit's for real.
Catherine, move up. Come with me. Oh, okay.
Hey, wait for me.
Careful with the arc.
Take it easy, it's not going to...
Loud creak right above Sikorsky's head.
Oh. For a moment I thought it was going to collapse.
Tunnel collapses. Who wrote these subtitles? It just occurred to me, I forgot. I unlocked Ross's room, and I totally forgot to go in there, and now I can't go back. Oops. I'm just lamenting. Like, I'm lamenting the fact that, oh no, I wanted to, Can I climb over this? Like, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go around, right? That's what I expect. There were... The map showed some other entry points. Lovely. But yeah, I'm lamenting the fact that, oh no, there were all those other areas I wanted to explore, and then I just totally spaced out, and oh, this is awful. Sorry. Like, being in this, like, we just saw Sikorsky buried under tons of rubble, and now we're crawling right through this cave where there's things get, well, everything is shaking. It looks like it collapses any moment. It just seems like it'd be an awful way to die. Like, tons of rubble on top of you, and knowing that you can't get out and your friends can't help you get out, and you're like, you probably wouldn't die right away, you know? He's in a pressure suit, like he has to be inside a pressure suit in order to be here. So it's designed to withstand the pressure. It would probably withstand. It would withstand the piles of rock on top of him. I'm really bummed that I didn't go into Johann Ross's room. I wonder, like, if I exit and then reload again, would it bring up the So I'm gonna clear chat just because it's been empty for a bit. I wonder if I should reload and see if it'll give me the option to go there, but I think I did save since then, so I don't know. I feel like I missed out I missed out on some important story beats by not going in there. Oh well. Made my stupid choice. Oh. It really is Site Alpha. What? Okay. I mean, we're going to Site 5, but... Do I really want to be exploring this area when we're supposed to be looking after the Ark and stuff? before I press on any further. Oh hell, no. I'm just gonna keep going. Like I was saying, oh, there was still that other branch of the corridor that I didn't look in yet, but you know what? I've already missed lots of stuff here, so whatever. I'll just play the game again at some point and try to go for other options. Like play a round where I spare everyone and play another round where I kill everyone. Just the WoW is just spread everywhere here. All these weird tendrils and tentacles sticking out all over the place. To manually open every door. What am I gonna find here? Ross's voice said this is where it all started. Does that mean, like, where WoW was created? Is this site the source of all the tentacle thingies that we've been seeing this whole game? What am I hearing? This is supposedly like a top secret site that people weren't even sure existed. Like, Herper apparently was like making it her mission to find information about Site Alpha. Or was it, no, well, I mean, she was asking about Site Alpha, and there was that,
Just tell me what you want.
yeah, seriously.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the news from which the WoW will hang itself.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither, but they didn't understand. They put it inside a cabinet. It was so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of the misery we created. And the girl, she figured it out.
Huh.
She was going to take care of it. The WoW shrieked. They all died. You took the gel from the cabinet and made yourself into a venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW? Altogether?
You are the snake, Simon. Now strike at the heart.
Yeah, they said the WoW shrieked and they all died. Like, that was the referring to the fact that all their heads exploded. Is that all there was to it? Like, the WoW just like, it really just burst everybody's heads simultaneously? This is going to turn into like a choice where I can choose whether to destroy the WoW or go preserve the Ark. I mean, the way the WoW is operating, like, maybe it would be worth, maybe it's worth destroying it anyway. Hello? Is that a humanoid shape I see? Vision's getting more and more distorted.
What the hell is that?
Heart. It controls all the structure gel on Pathos 2. All you need to do is poison the imprint, and the heart will unwillingly spread it across Pathos 2, killing it. Feed it, Simon. Push your arm into the heart. Come on. Do it.
Huh. Every time Simon touches those brain tentacle things, like, has he been killing them each time?
Can't let the WoW continue producing its filth. Kill it.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I'll go for it, I guess. He uses his left hand this time.
It's working!
Please. I did what you wanted.
You did good, Simon. But you can't leave. The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern. Don't worry. I'll make it quick.
Oh god!
Okay, I have to get out of here. Oh, don't tell me. I should have known I hadn't seen the last of that thing. We're back to following these things again? Great. Does this lead to Phi? Okay, continue poisoning these things? Like, heals me while poisoning it? Ooh. Just run for it, I guess. Is this a cutscene? Did it get me? What? Is it taking me somewhere? Is it waiting for my input? Pushing all the buttons. Well, it was waiting for my input. Jumping and crouching. Where was that WoW thingy that I just saw? I was trying to get to it. I figure if I can... I mean, I already missed one of these things earlier. Is that the other one that I... Like, is it my goal to... Or possible... One of my possible goals to find all of these on the way there? Is there some way to avoid this thing? Am I doing this wrong? Like, am I... Like, was I supposed to hide in between these or something? Surely I can't go in here. It's not gonna follow me, right? Training airlock. Achievement unlocked your expressway to the stars. That suggests that I...
This has to be Phi, right? Hope the Ark made it here in one piece.
Yeah, no kidding. Dive room. This is where I'd expect the Ark to be, I guess. Or would it? I mean, didn't the access point from the I don't know. Let's just look around until we find it, I guess. I got all the doors have phi symbols on them. That's interesting. Oh, can you talk to Catherine again?
Christ, what the hell happened to your arm?
It's complicated. I just need to know one thing. I'll have both my arms in the Ark, right?
Yes, of course. Are you okay, though? Can you do stuff?
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Did you find the Ark?
I did, but I kinda lost it on my way here on an automated tram thing headed to Phi. So it should be around somewhere.
That's great. Let's go get it.
Can I talk to her still?
All right. Phi is up and running.
Can't talk to her? Okay. Yeah, I was gonna make the comment, up till
Did
now,
you find out what happened to the Ark team?
Not really. For some reason, they didn't go through with the launch, so they took the Ark back to Tau.
I hope everything's okay with the space gun.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be able to repair one of those.
yeah, for some reason, you know, you did kind of meet the only person who could answer that question, Simon, and you didn't ask her. Like, why wasn't it in the dialogue option to ask, hey, what the heck happened, by the way? And, you know, you got so caught up in your, oh, to be or not to
This
be.
feels like the longest day of my life. Has it just been one day?
I have no idea. Our time together is a confusing patchwork of moments to me.
What time is it then? What day?
It's May 11th, 2104,
Oh,
3:30 a.m., but I don't remember when we started.
okay, so it's still 2104. I was under the impression that, like, years had passed in between. So, okay, so they, you know...
You know, I woke up in my bed today. It just happens to have happened 100 years ago.
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. I woke up in my bed today, 100 years ago. Who am I? Who am I?
What do we got here? Site map. It just goes to show there's still a lot to do, I guess. Launch dome. Okay, so we're over here. OSG over Omega Space Gun
The
overview.
satellite is loaded into a shell. The shell is accelerated by electromagnets along the barrel. Enough momentum to escape Earth's gravity is gained before regression. Reaching space, the satellite will shed the shell and unfold. Onboard thrusters settle the satellite into an orbit.
Complete reaching space, the satellite will shed the shell and unfold. Is that it? That's a little eerie.
It's crazy to think where I am. Not only is this the future, it's in the middle of the sea. I know nothing of this time or what the world looks like.
Not much to brag about now. Before the comet, I guess it was okay.
Yeah, better not oversell it. Might change my mind about the Ark.
You seriously not gonna tell me what happened to your arm?
I had to make a quick stop at Site Alpha to help kill the WoW.
What? How? Why?
Stop it from torturing the memory of humanity.
Okay, let's just get back to work.
Well, you asked. Okay, enough of this. Tunnel transport? Okay. TT-15 cargo bay contents. Arc status requires manual offload. Okay, so it's over here. And I'm over here. How do I even get there? Like, this says launch dome. Presumably this is the Omega Space Gun here. Looks like there's something that takes me over here. Staff activity. Incoming Herbert. Was he? Wait, what? Oh, okay. It's like, what? Herbert came here. That's day to day, like, because Herbert's body is inside the suit. If you know, if Catherine hadn't just said what day it was, I would have looked at it and gone, "What?" Everything else, Pearson, Sarah Limel, Catherine Chun, Ivashkin, and Hill. That's the team. They arrived here on December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. That's incoming, and then outgoing. They all left except Catherine. Catherine stayed here. Like I have a feeling we were gonna run into her again. Is Catherine still around? Unsigned RH or R. Herper visit. Was this 2103-1227 launching the Ark? It says launching the Ark. What's this one last visit? What's that about? It's a month before the attempted launching of the Ark. It says launching the Ark, but the Ark wasn't launched, so... Did they try to launch the Ark and something went wrong? Launch log. Week 488, TACT SX owner Haimatsu. Type orbital platform at freighter. Launch 2102, 1219, mission complete. That was before the Cataclysm. Owner Luna Prospects type remote sensing satellite. This one's after the Cataclysm. Mission complete. It says week number 488, but these two are a year apart. This is 2102, this is 2103. It's weird. I would have expected each of these to refer to one specific week, not have time periods a year apart from each other. Or is that a typo? Did the dev team of this game put a typo and put the wrong year there? I have a feeling this is supposed to say 2102, because I think these are supposed to be in the same week. December 19th, December 20th. Like they're supposed to be a day apart, not a year apart. Oops. That would make a lot more sense. Orbital platform freighter, Sino-Indian Federation communications satellite. Orbital platform freighter, reconnaissance satellite. When did the Cataclysm happen again? I was. Orbital platform freighter weather satellite. After 10 years of impeccable operation, the Mega Space Gun will shut down, but it took an apocalypse to be made redundant. Vic Auclair. Vic Auclair. That's reference to Auclair's office. Never found my way to. Okay, anyway. Move right along.
What will you do when you get into the Ark? What's the first thing?
Make sure the Ark is safe, stabilize flight path, activate solar panels.
Oh, what's the first human thing you're gonna do?
Oh. Watch the clouds roll by? Does that count?
Of course.
I'd say so.
Why wouldn't it? Okay, launch dome. Okay, well, just checking out the map again. Yeah, launch dome is here. So I think I want to go this way and check the status of the Ark. Anyway, I keep getting interrupted. I was going to make a comment earlier. Up till now, I've sort of been assuming that like touching the WoW pod things might have been heading to like heading to an ending where I'm like helping the WoW spread or something, but I think I might have actually been poisoning it every time, and like interfacing with those things actually has been slowly killing the WoW. still puts his hand in, even even after having it bitten off by the heart thingy. Anyway, I'm all healed up. That's cool. This thing work? Oh. I may have just disconnected the power by interfacing with the WoW there. What's that blinking light for? Okay, I'm not seeing the arc around here. Auxiliary generators. So these are other satellite payloads they had sitting around, I guess. I don't know what this thing is. What's in here? Hmm? Ah, okay. So you can pull the power source out of here and plug it in somewhere else. Is that the deal? Ah, this was feeding power into this, but now I need an alternative, so... Is that it?
Alright, found the Ark.
Good job, Simon. Now we just need to find the assembly space so we can stuff the Ark into a shell.
Great. Should I take it with me now? I mean, I guess. I guess I do it one-handed now. Though it's not like you can get tired. I mean, or at least not in the sense of you know, the way a human would get tired. Is this a shell? You said you need a shell to put it in? Like, I'm not going to be able to climb the ladder back up, right? So whatever I need to do, it has to be around here somewhere. Oh. Who's this?
Are you suggesting we keep it down here? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Eternity among the stars, remember?
The people inside the Ark won't know the difference. We can just keep it down here, and we don't have to risk the Ark being shot through 5,000 meters of broken barrel, and then push through another 100,000 meters of a dust-filled atmosphere.
Will the casing stand all that pressure?
Oh, the odds aren't great.
Catherine, say something.
I don't care what you think. I'm launching it.
No need to be like that. Let's just hang on to it for a while and think about it. We can launch it later.
No, that wasn't the deal. We made it to save them. To launch it. Out there, it's hope. Down here, it's a fucking terrarium waiting to die with the rest of us.
Come on, Catherine. It's not asking much. Let's just think about it before we risk the only hope humanity has to survive this hell.
No, we launch it today. This is my project, my Ark.
It's bigger than that. Don't you get it? It's not for you to decide. We're talking about the fate of mankind.
Get away from the Ark. I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
Stop it!
Guys, calm down.
Get away from me! No!
What did you do?
It was an accident.
Catherine, talk to me. Catherine.
Oh,
They-
God. Catherine,
Did you say something?
it's you. You had an accident.
What do you... Oh. You mean Catherine. Don't worry, it's better this way.
Accident. Someone just bludgeoned her over the head with a wrench? I guess? She said you needed a shell to...
How did she die?
You got into a fight with your colleagues. They didn't want to risk launching the Ark. Thought it might not make it through the atmosphere.
They killed me?
I'm sure it was an accident. They were just trying to stop you from launching.
So, I mean...
I think I found the assembly space.
What do you see?
It's like a huge open shell, a bullet ready to be loaded.
That's great. All prepared for the Ark.
On it.
How could they kill me?
Catherine,
I know I'm not an easy person to like. I just thought they trusted me.
come on. Don't do this to yourself.
I mean... It sounded like he said that the pipe was broken. That's why they were hesitating. That's what he said,
Did you
right?
have friends in Toronto, Simon? Real friends?
There was some. Jesse, Sean, Kevin.
I always wanted a friend. Like a real one. Someone you'd never hold back with.
I'll be your friend.
Oh, pity friendship? Now I feel even worse.
Well, I mean, all we have is each
Do
other
you
at
think
this
the Ark
point.
will make it through the atmosphere and into space?
It almost doesn't matter anymore. We just need to try. If we
Yeah.
burn, we burn. If we're lucky, we just gave humanity a new chance, a whole new era. With the Ark on Earth, maybe we have a few decades of power to keep it running. In space, we have thousands of years.
Still, one hell of a gamble, though.
Mm-hmm.
This was never about certainty. It's about hope.
S3 connection. Is this thing gonna work now? Like, I'm presuming you need this thing on power to payload detected. This is it's gonna send it off. Pit bay closing. This is gonna take it over to the
it?
I'm really
OSG.
not that familiar with guns of any size. Oh, here we go. All systems say go.
Lock and load.
Come back up and we'll head out to the gun.
Mm-hmm. Something's gonna go wrong, right? Okay. Alright, it seems to be on its way. What's this? What is this? It's very conspicuous. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, I can sort of identify with Catherine's position there, like we have to try launching it anyway, because like what else are we gonna do? We can't go up if there's a break in the pipe. We can't. It's not like we can go up thousands of meters to fix it. Like they don't have the means to do it. They just, so it's like either it works or it doesn't. She said.
Now what?
Now we just need to get the shell into the gun and then, kaboom.
Aren't you forgetting something? How are you gonna get us on board the Ark? Don't we need to make another scan?
Oh, don't you worry. You don't operate something like the Omega space gun with your bare hands.
You mean, it's a pilot seat? Like back at Omicron?
Yes, and we can use it to transfer you to the Ark while operating the gun. 2 birds and all that. Now, take the Omnitool and plug it in next to the seat and I'll guide you through the final steps.
It's getting dark out there. Crap. Okay. Shoot. You know what? I think it's about time that I put my jack-o'-lantern out. This feels like end game material here. I feel like I'm. I think. I would like to finish this off. But I am going to put the jack-o'-lantern out because it's about time for trick-or-treaters to get coming by the house. I will be right back. I'll show you the jack-o'-lantern. This is it, by the way. There's one viewer, whoever you are, and anyone watching on YouTube, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, it's just a simple design. Two eyes looking to one side, plus a very simple mouth. Previous years, I've had other more complex designs. I just wanted to keep it simple this time. Anyway, I'll be right back. Bear with me, just need to light up the candle and stuff. stuff. Have to get stuff ready. Okay, alright. So, jack-o'-lantern is out. It's out there. Could be getting people knocking on the door at any time. I saw some kids up the street. I took a couple of pictures of the jack-o'-lantern with these. See if I can put those up and include them in the stream. Sorry, minor diversion here. Whatever. There's only one person watching us anyway. Can I pull the picture up that I just took? Oh, is it still loading? Okay. Oh, there it goes. What? There it goes. And just pull up the pictures from the phone. Oh, I've always felt that it seems like a design flaw in devices of this type. Trying to just open the folder. Come on, this thing's so slow. It's bringing up the pictures. It brings the early ones up first. Therefore, it brings up the ones you want to see last. Because the ones you want to look at first are the ones that you just took, right? Sort of feel like, I wonder if it would be a better design if it brought up the photos in reverse order or something. Might make more sense. What do I know? Okay, minimize that, close that, that's done. Get these out of here. Close that, close that. Just minimize that temporarily. Just copy that onto the desktop for a moment. Just double check the pictures, make sure I didn't accidentally dox myself or something. Hee hee. Very nice. Okay, so add, is it image? Image file, browse, desktop. So this is the, oh, for goodness sake. That's the picture I took first before I put the candle in. And then image properties, file name, and pull this one up. There it is with the candle in it. I think it came out pretty, oh, is this thing on? There you go. I think it came out pretty good. There I am. I think I came out pretty good. That's my little jack-o'-lantern. My happy little jack-o'-lantern is creepily gazing at anyone who anyone who comes up on the doorstep. Yeah. That was neat. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to the game. Notifications, what's this? Oh, somebody pinged me, sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to come back to that later. Anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a diversion. Let's get back to this thing. Get that back on there and back into the game. Just ready for any moment someone might come knock on the door and I'll need to run out and give them candy. So bear with me if that comes up. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was about to go into the OSG. Beep boop. Is this another airlock? Don't tell me I have to... Do we have to go back out? Outside? Outside again? Lovely. Before I head out any further, I'm going to turn the sound down a bit because I want to make sure, if it's going to make loud noises like that, I need to make sure I can hear. Make sure I can hear people knocking on the door. Honestly, I feel like I hate the idea of stopping off here, but I sort of it might impact the like emotional momentum of the ending if I get repeatedly interrupted by trick-or-treaters or whatever.
Oh, I'll never get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat.
Well, we kind of established once we copy ourselves over to the Ark, we're still going to be out here. But whatever.
Comfortable?
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay, I'll activate the seat. You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
How do you operate this thing?
Don't know, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Great. Oh, that's neat. Zoom crane. Okay, so I clicked on that. Where is it even supposed to go? Like, that's the bullet with the Ark. There you go. Okay. Is that all there is to it?
There we go.
What is that?
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
Okay. Is that how it works? I mean, okay. I have to take your word for it, I guess.
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
Don't mention.
It's an amazing thing you did. And I want you to know I appreciate it.
Initiating uplink.
Time. 20 seconds.
What's the matter with the upload?
Just give it a second.
Thought you guys had a better bandwidth in the future.
10 seconds. 9. 8.
He's not gonna make it.
7. 6.
You gotta be kidding me!
5. 4. 3.
Come on, load! Yes! Fuck yeah, we made it! Woo! I'm still here. I'm still here. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm here.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss. We both did. Just like Simon at Omicron. Just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No. This is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks. But our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied. And I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are on the Ark, you idiot! I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance. You
Fuck! Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
Oh. Oh. That's it, eh? Do we even know if it made it? If the Ark made it into space? I mean, I had a feeling that's how it was going to end. I mean, not necessarily with the lights going out and the power failing and Catherine disappearing and leaving him alone, but I was pretty sure it was. Yeah, look, these are all the people. A pretty hefty cast. Like each region you go into has like a new set of characters. Photo shoot as Ashley. I get, you know, without wishing to sound rude or anything, how dense is Simon? Like, even after going through that whole thing back in Omicron, oh no, I got copied into the new body. It was, I thought I was just going to be transferred. Like, he still didn't figure it out? Like, buddy, it was only ever going to be a copy of you being in the Ark. Like, dude, why was that so hard to grasp? You were never personally going to be put on. I mean, a copy of you is on there. I don't know, he's just a photographer. What does he know? Well, saving icon came. Hmm? There's more? Oh no. This doesn't look like paradise. Is this the other Simon in the
Whoa.
Ark?
Is this? Did it work?
Why is it underground? You think if they were trying to recreate a paradise, it'd be a little more lush. Okay, here we go. Well, go splash in the water. I don't know, after all that time underwater, I don't know if we want to do that really, but... Where are all the other people, though? Calibration survey version 2.3. Welcome. If you're reading this, you have successfully entered the Ark. This survey is designed to give the developers a better understanding of your subjective experience and how to improve your well-being. Please continue with the survey. Okay, before I do that, let me just quick take a peek outside. Sorry, no one's knocked on the door yet. I just want to check. I'll be right back. I swear I saw kids up the street before. Maybe they're not out yet. It's only coming up to 7 o'clock. I mean, it's dark out. Maybe the rain scared them away. I don't know. How do you describe your physical condition? I'm really feeling invigorated, better version of myself. Feel alien visitor inside another body. Feel fake, no longer a real person. This is the same quiz you did before. I don't really know how Simon feels. There isn't anyone to read these answers, right? We launched it. How do you describe your mental condition? I feel nervous, but disconnected, separation from mind and body. I feel altered, changing. Like, I don't know. How does Simon feel? How does he feel? I mean, he was going on about... On the one hand, he was going on about identity and about, like, how he felt disconnected from the person he knew back in Toronto in the 21st century, you know, in the year 2015. But on the other hand, he really wanted to get in the Ark, so I guess he was okay with that. So I'm going to go with I feel normal. How do you describe your senses? As expected, normal. I feel more sensitive. My senses are numb, lacking one or more of my natural senses. I mean, when he was in the bot, he wasn't aware that there was an issue, so I'm gonna go with as expected normal. How do you describe the sensation of your new condition? It's pleasant, I don't like it, something's wrong, it's disconcerting, everything feels constructed, depressing, I can't shake the feeling of it all being fake. I wonder if maybe the ending sequence plays out differently depending on what your answers you give here. I'm gonna go with it's pleasant. Are you troubled by the fact that you are no longer strictly human? No, I feel fine. Somewhat I feel like I lost myself. Yes, I'm more my previous existence. I don't care what form I take as long as I get to carry on. I mean, on some level, I do think he mourns his previous existence. I'm gonna go with that. How do you perceive your new existence? It's a direct continuation of my previous self, like a new chapter in my life. It's like being born all over again, a complete do-over. It's something completely different, has nothing to do with my previous self. I mean, a new chapter in my life? Go with that? Do you think this new existence will be a life worth living? Yes, it's just as much as my previous life. Yes, but with less meaning. Maybe we can find a new sense of meaning in this world. No too detached from reality and everything I know. Maybe you can find a new sense of meaning. I mean, that's kind of all you can do at this point. Would you rather be removed from the project and accept death? I think last time I said maybe, but at this point I think Simon's pretty well accepted that this is what he wants, so I'm going to go with no. Your answers have been saved. Thank you for participating. The ARC team. So is he going to find Catherine? Is he going to find the other people? Like, who's going to be here? What's going to be here? It's sort of a grim ending for...
Catherine! I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
I have this too.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
So that's the satellite. Is it actually in orbit? It's floating over the Earth. That's not where it's supposed to be, right? It was supposed to be orbiting the sun, I thought. That thing that showed the projected orbit. Because there's that whole thing of maintaining a certain distance from the sun with the solar panels turning towards it, so that it would be powered forever, basically, or for thousands of years, for however long it can last. There it goes. So, okay, so I guess the satellite made it. I kind of thought maybe the dev team was going to leave everything hanging and just leave you not knowing whether the satellite made it or not. But yeah, I mean, humanity down on Earth is all dead, but that there's now that they get to the simulated brain scans of the last 50 people got copied into this artificial reality and blasted into space. So that's the new last remnants of humanity. Achievement unlocked. The end. There's an omega symbol. And there's an image of Catherine there. That image was like getting progressively broken as the game went on. It kind of made me think that maybe it was a sign of things going wrong, or I don't know. Maybe that image gets more whole if I make other choices. It didn't. wasn't like a huge indication of like, oh, because you did this, this happened, and this is the result. I sort of wonder how drastically different things might be if I did make other choices. Like, if I didn't interface with any of the WoW thingies, and thus didn't poison them, and they are all intact, and I didn't, poison the heart, it kind of makes me wonder if, like, does WoW take over? Does it, like, maybe we get a corrupted version of the, of the Ark and the corrupted version of Paradise? Seems like that would be hard to do, though. That would mean you never get to heal for the whole game. I don't know. And I kind of wonder, does it make a difference if you, whether or not you, kill all the people along the way? Like, pull the plug on the copy of Simon, delete the extra copies of Brandon and David Munchie and Berg and all that. We never found out who the original person was who designed who designed the brain scan machine in the first place. Like, it's pretty clearly indicated that David Munchie and Paul Berg, I think, was that the guy's name? Something Berg. It is pretty clearly indicated that they're not the ones that designed it. They're not the ones that built that scanning machine. Like the day of scanning Simon's mind, they were like, oh, okay, let's test this thing on each other first, and that's why their brain scans are in there. But there's one person before that, presumably the person who actually built the machine. Kind of wondered, like, how did that play out? How did that come about? Did David Munchie, like, steal it from somebody else or something? I wonder. It's probably it might be an unanswerable question. I don't know. Maybe there's some maybe there was some information somewhere that we didn't find. Yeah, I never figured out Johan Ross's deal. I'm still kicking myself for not entering his room. Like, we got the code, we unlocked it, and then didn't go in. Oops. There might have been some interesting lore in there. Well. Yeah, I was gonna make the comment earlier. Yeah, Simon had the Simon who was left behind in the robot body there has a bit of a grim ending. Like, he can't get back. He can't get out. Who knows how long the power source of his suit lasts. Like, he had to break the pipes to get the airlock to work, getting out of Tau, and there's no way to get back out that way. There's no one to call the climber anyway. So he's stuck down there. With some kind of strange monstrosity stalking the halls of Tau. And his only companion through all this was Catherine, and it's not certain what happened to her at the end. It looked like there was a power failure or something, but it looked like his last moments talking to her, he spent yelling at her because he's an idiot who didn't realize, for some reason, didn't realize that, no, really, you're being copied, dude. That means one of you stays behind. that's how this works. Like, even as he witnessed it happening in real time, like, he still didn't figure it out. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so, I sort of feel like, I mean, I want to, I'd like to see what other options or other endings are possible, but I don't know if I want to stream it, because I would mean I have to go through the whole game again. Maybe I'll do that in my own time. To be honest, I haven't really had good audiences playing Soma, but and I'd kind of rather I'd like to get back to my Subnautica game anyway. I don't know. Maybe I was gonna say maybe I'll record it and put it up on my YouTube channel, but then like I don't know. It's hard to know what's worth recording. I don't know if I want to record the whole thing. It was going to be multiple hours of me just speeding through things. But yeah. Somebody made the comment that it is possible to like spare Amy, for example. Like you don't have to kill her. You don't have to pull the plug on her. So I wonder if it's worth going through the whole game sparing everyone and then going through the whole game killing everyone. Is it worth trying again going through the whole game without interfacing with any of the WoW nodules? Is that an option? But again, trying to experiment with that means multiple hours, like dozens of hours of time to trying to go through and figure it out. It's probably more worth my while if I just look up a walkthrough if I'm gonna try that. I don't particularly want to spoil it or anything, but like that kind of experimentation would be a huge time sink. I don't. Just other things I'd rather do with my time. Yeah, cool game though. This is a very interesting game. I'm gonna have to, highly recommend this in future. I think, like, I mean, to people who can handle the horror aspect anyway. But it's just dripping with atmosphere, beginning to end. It's brilliant. It's very well put together. The pacing of the story is brilliant too. I mean, like, everything is spaced out. You learn things about what's going on, and in order that keeps things interesting. It keeps you guessing. And I think that's really cool. It's obviously very well thought out. Got some really tough, difficult philosophical questions that it deals with about identity and about finding meaning in life. And like Simon, I mean, he had this delusional idea that he was going to be transferred into the Ark, and then he wouldn't stay behind in the hellhole on Earth. I mean, he even though he basically left his humanity behind 100 years ago, he's still you know, he's basically there to help others, and ultimately, and give the remaining crew of Theta, I guess it was. I mean, there's only they didn't even upload everybody into it. Like, they interrupted the program multiple times. Yeah, the image is changing over time. I think it's just coming apart and coming back together again. But yeah. Huh. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, like, what am I trying to say? Like Simon's last attempt to find meaning in his life, in his existence, was trying to help others, the last remnants of humanity, to find something of a second chance at life, at existence. Which is, you know, kind of neat philosophy in itself, of you know, finding meaning in your existence by helping others. Yeah. There's still other questions, though. Like, how did Simon come to be in that robot suit in the first place? Like, when he woke up at the beginning of the game, he was in the pilot seat. I mean, I get, like, it isn't explicitly clearly spelled out, but like, I get the feeling that the WoW found this database of brain scans, including 100-year-old ones, and said, "Oh, I'm going to put all these brain scans into robots because I'm an AI that beep boop. I have this one directive: keep everyone alive, and if I put these brain scans into robots, then they'll be alive." And the AI is very simple-minded, doesn't grasp the concept that, you know, maybe the people of these brain scans don't want to be transferred into robots. Maybe that isn't a life that they would want. So but it's just putting everyone into robots, and it puts Simon in there too. How did Carl Semken end up being in a robot, though? That's the one hole on that. That's the one plot hole on that. I mean, all the other robots were people who were from Theta that Catherine was deliberately copying it in so they could be put in the Ark. But Carl was in Upsilon. He was nowhere near any of that going on. And his body was close by where his robot self was. So what happened there? And if the WoW was just picking people up at random and copying them over, then why wasn't Amy copied over? Why was she, you know, kept on life support there? Oh yeah, speaking of which, as you progress through the game gives you, you know, the Steam. In addition to the Steam achievements, there's those little Steam collectible card things, and you just it gave out 4 of them and then it just gave up. I thought I was going to get more, but whatever. And one of the ones that I got was Amy, and each of them is accompanied by a line that they say in game, and Amy's is "I just want to go home," and I'm looking at it like, how dare? Like, why would you make that her line? That's just such a sad line. I mean that one, like after you pull the first plug and you're like, are you okay? And she's like, I don't know, I just want to go home. Like that's that plaintive, almost childlike. Like she's in so much pain that she just she sort of regresses into this childlike state of like I just want whatever. I don't know. It's just such a sad, heartbreaking moment there. I don't know. Apparently you have the option to spare her. But by sparing her, do you mean like leave her plugged into the WoW? Just to live the rest of her life in practically a vegetative state, unable to move? Again, that doesn't seem like much of a life, but as far as the WoW is concerned, as long as there's life, that's beep boop directive achieved. Yeah. If I click load game, oh, how neat. There's a limit to how many things there are. It only goes back as far as Site Omicron. The Tau, Site Alpha, Site Phi, and the Arc. So everything before that, Site Theta, Delta, Upsilon, all those Sapiens are erased, I guess. There's only so far back I can go. Huh. No. Yeah, so if I wanted to try different options or whatever, I guess I would have to start a new game. So presumably, okay. Assuming, like I don't know exactly how it works, but assuming there are 2 basic routes of the game, like either save humanity or help the WoW and get the WoW's version of saving humanity. Presumably that would mean getting the WoW's version. Presumably means I have to spare everybody, because that's something that would appease the WoW if that's a thing that I need to do. Like one, spare everybody, and 2, I'd probably just opt to not interface with any of those things. Any of those brainy tentacle things. Although, I mean, the first one you encounter, I think you have to interface with it, though, unless there's another option that I was missing. And for that matter, that first robot that I saw that was plugged into 2 of those things, was there another option other than pulling the plug and killing that thing? I don't know. Yeah, again, like when I was playing, I didn't see another option. So if there is another option, it must be like secret or something. I don't know. I think I would have to consult a walkthrough, because I looked around, I searched all over that room. I didn't see anything else I could do or interact with or anything. I don't know. Anyway, is that enough rambling out of me yet? Like I said, cool game. The atmosphere is great, the story is great, the characters are great. There's some good voice acting. There's some good exploration of philosophy going on. It's neat the way Simon and Catherine kind of bounce off each other. Like, they clearly have different ways of, like, looking at the world. Some of I was gonna say, like, some of Catherine's personality is in the realm of tell versus show. Like, you get the feeling that she's kind of always been a loner. She doesn't get along well with people. There's sort of hints that she's kind of like neurodivergent, as opposed to neurotypical. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she's autistic or what, but like there's just a sense that she doesn't get along with other people. I mean, it's stated a few times, a bunch of times, that she doesn't really get along with people. I mean, she says right at the end, just flat out, I didn't have any friends when I was human. And even when she was put in the robot body, she was like, didn't really care about being human anyway, And she seems kind of detached a lot, and Simon kind of criticizes her for that a lot. Of not having the the right emotional reactions, I guess, to what's going on. She's just kind of single-mindedly determined to just see the logical side of things and say, okay, well, this is what we have to do, so do X, Y, Z, and just, like, which isn't to say that she's inhuman. I mean, she has, humanity in her, like talking about liking looking up at the clouds in that last scene. It's also the conversation she had when they were on the climber on the way down. She's talking about her childhood experiences. It's like I say, like I said about, in other streams, other recordings about, like speaking for myself, of me being autistic, it's just a different way of perceiving the world around you. It's just like looking at the world through a different kind of lens, I guess. Like she has. There are a lot of moments in the game that she expresses herself in ways you might expect a neurotypical person to express herself. But that could just be, her living a lifetime among neurotypical people and trying, like living as an autistic person in a world which doesn't really understand autistic people or autism in general, and sort of, I'm gonna say, frowns on people who are different, or tends to anyway. Like you learn how to adapt to try to fit in. You try to fake affectations or personality quirks or whatever that help you fit in, even if they seem senseless. They don't make any sense. So I've complained a few times on this channel. I mean, well, on my YouTube channel anyway. Like, what's up with gender roles? What's up with this whole notion of boys have to be a certain way, girls have to be a certain way is such nonsense. Doesn't make any sense. Just, random example. Gender roles are sort of just a thing that kind of bug me. I just realized my phone is still plugged in here. I only needed to copy those pictures over. Yeah. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, stuff like that. Like, just gender roles is just a random example of something that it doesn't make any logical sense, but you just go along with it because everyone else is, and that's what's expected of you. And going against that, people look at you like, oh, you're different or weird. And, and in recent decades, by and large, people are more accepting of people who are different and so on. But there are also still, like, a lot of places throughout the world that really, really do not accept lack of conformity, that need everyone to fit into whatever specific mold they think that people should fit into. I mean, just look at what's going on in Russia, for instance. Random example. I mean, it's a dictatorship over there, and everything I've heard about, like gender roles are like rigidly enforced over there. I hear, like I've heard, like, from people living in Russia, descriptions of their school system sounds like something out of the 50s, something you'd expect to be out of the American 1950s. Like girls are basically trained to be housewives, and I'm getting way off topic here. Anyway. I guess I just brought that up because it's been on my mind lately. Things are a mess over there. The Ukraine, the war in Ukraine is such a mess. They're in for a rough winter because they're getting the Russians or Putin's force. I shouldn't say the Russians, because it's not like the Russians aren't the bad guys in this conflict. They're as much victims as the Ukrainian people in that conflict, because they don't want to be there. No one wants to be there. Like, Putin's forcing them to be there for no reason. There's no gain from it. It's all tremendous waste. Throwing away people's lives and infrastructure for nothing. They don't even get anything about it. Even if Putin wins, he doesn't get anything out of it. He's just doing it because he's got that whole, it's that whole toxic masculinity thing. He feels like he's got this macho attitude of, I can't admit I made a mistake. I have to have a show of strength. I can't show weakness. I can't admit it was a stupid idea to attack Ukraine in the first place. It's objectively the right thing to do, to just pull all his forces out of there, but he's not going to do it because, toxic masculinity. He has this, again, it's this stupid notion of strength, and it isn't a display of strength. It's just a display of stupidity, really. But that's what gender roles do to society, and it's so messed up. I don't know, maybe autistic people should be ruling the world. Get rid of these stupid rules that people follow so rigidly for no reason and for no real gain. Like, what do you gain from following gender roles. I don't know. I'm just how did I get on this topic anyway? I was just I just find it kind of sad that in you know, Catherine's last moments, like Catherine in the Omnitool, her last moments not only had or Simon is like yelling at her and swearing at her and insulting her, accusing her of lying when she did no such thing. Like, she was honest. Like, dude, you know how this works. I mean, I don't know. Simon has his own issues, I guess. He's in a state of crumbling into despair and wants someone to blame for it, I guess. I mean, on some level, that's understandable, I suppose. But I just sort of feel a bit bad for Catherine that you know, throughout her life, she was misunderstood and didn't have friends, and you know, people didn't understand her, people didn't get along with her, and her last moments was dealing with someone who didn't understand her and just continued to not get along with her. And I don't know, it's just kind of sad. I don't know. I just sort of feel like it would have been nicer if Simon had been a little more understanding. Or I mean, he on some level he did understand. I mean, like he did make comments from time to time, like how can you stand it being stuck in that little handheld device there? Like are you really okay with that? And you know, on some level, she probably isn't. I mean, she's she probably would prefer to be able to move around and have some autonomy and stuff, but she's sort of in a state of, okay, let's look at the situation logically and let's approach it logically. And this is what we need to do. Like, she's not completely devoid of any feelings about it, but she doesn't let that get in the way of that autistic drive to have some sense of order. That's one of the ways my brain operates, you know, as an autistic person, of having some need to have things in a certain order, a certain organization. Last minute changes of plans just throw all of that off, and that can be something that's difficult for an autistic person to adapt to. I mean, like I've said for years, that's a pet peeve of mine. Like, if I'm making plans to meet someone and they cancel the last minute, it just throws everything off. It just upsets everything in here, because I have to, you know, mentally plan, prepare, and organize everything, and, you know, like, sort of psych myself up for social interaction and stuff. And, you know, it's something you can learn to adapt to. Like, over my 41 years of life, I've learned how to make backup plans. I don't know. You figure out ways to adapt. So, you know, probably Catherine's done the same. But yeah, Yeah, seeing Simon's consternation at the end, after the transfer went through and still being in the robot body, you can sort of appreciate the mentality of the people back at Zeta who were like, they thought that once their brain was scanned, they were going to wake up inside the Ark, and when they didn't, they just went and killed themselves. Um, um, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. I do find myself wondering, um, like in the absence of the whole ARC program, could humanity have recovered from all this going on, all this stuff going on? I mean, aside from Linwell, who's like the last human, aside from, well, there's Amy. Amy was the only person who was able to communicate and talk. All the other humans we saw were like barely breathing and engulfed in WoW, or were like adapted to be semi-mechanical. Like the WoW was altering them. Yeah. So I mean, the WoW's vision of the future is probably just that: a bunch of semi-humanoid people just kept on life support for all of eternity. Not much of a life. I'm sort of thinking, like, in the absence of the WoW, like, I kind of wonder if they would have been able to recover some way. Like the report from the surface was saying that, like, the entirety of the landmass is engulfed in flames. But surely, I mean, the flames go out eventually, right? And after that, I mean, it would take time. It would take a long time for like vegetation to grow back, and then humans to come back up. I mean, there's still life underwater. Like, heck, I mean, whatever 3 billion years ago, all this original theories, as far as we know, all life was underwater to begin with, and eventually came out of the water. Probably like jumpstart that process. Bring all your plants up to the surface and see if you can get them to grow there again. It'd be a hard life up there. Like, everything's all burnt up and barren. But maybe slowly over time, over years, over decades, over centuries, you might be able to slowly build things back up again. And you maybe eventually reclaim, like, last remnants of whatever cities, whatever's up there, whatever's left. Like the old previous humanity might be. I imagine it being this thing of myth. They'd be digging up old remnants of the previous humanity for decades, for centuries after that, I can imagine. But until those flames go out, and until they're able to go back up there, that would be a rough life for those 50 people left behind underwater who were left. I can imagine it would be difficult to find, like, especially people down there who had plans for future, and you know, had loved ones left behind on the surface. Like it would be a hard life. It would be really difficult emotionally to pull through and keep going year after year down there. But I sort of imagine it would be possible. Who knows? Who knows how wide the scope of the actual devastation is. It's never quite clearly established in game. There's probably all kinds of lore behind the scenes that give more details about that. Maybe there might be more stuff in game that I missed that you would have learned, or maybe the dev team have ideas about it that isn't necessarily expressed in game. I don't know. Could be worth looking up. Could be interesting. Yeah. I might just be talking into the void here. I don't know. I mean, it says there's one viewer, so one very quiet viewer who is hasn't chatted so far. I still haven't ruled out the possibility that when this thing says one viewer, it might just be referring to me. Like, maybe I'm the viewer, and I really am talking to myself. But at the very least, I'm sure people will watch us on YouTube. So I'm sure somebody will watch us on YouTube. Maybe somebody will even listen to my rambling. Maybe they're listening to it while they're doing other things, which is probably the way to do it. Yeah. Anyway, do I have anything else to add? Nothing I can think of. Good game. So I can look forward to what else I might play. I was thinking, like, if I got through SOMA quickly enough, maybe I'd pick up some other horror games. Like, I have some other horror. I wanted to check out Franbo for one thing. That looked interesting. I deliberately, I prefer to go into these things as blind as possible. I think it's more interesting that way. So deliberately avoided spoilers or any information about it. I know it has a sort of cartoonish look to it, and it's got a suspense thriller kind of thing going on, but I don't know anything else about it. So it could be interesting. Just a random example. There are other games that I could play. Yeah, I installed Blasphemous not too long ago. That's another one I would like to get into. That looks interesting. It's a side-scroller Metroidvania game. And of course, yeah, I want to finish that Subnautica game. It was going pretty well. Also given some thought to picking up some kind of, like, doing some kind of retro thing. Like, if I need to, like, I have an emulator for the Atari. I could play those old games. I did have a Dreadnought Factory game that I recorded one time, and somebody replied and said that they really like the fact that I played the game, that they hadn't seen it in 30 years, and they're saying that they hope that I would continue. So hey, it could be neat to just do some kind of, like, retro stream, like really old games. Atari games, Nintendo games, like Nintendo as in the original Nintendo Entertainment System, like from the 80s. They're could be cool. Anyway, that was Soma. I think I better wrap up the stream. I don't think there's any point in raiding anyone, but just take a peek at what's. I mean, if yeah, I mean there. Could raid You Forgot. He's playing Subnautica. I mean, he raided my Subnautica stream not too long ago. So we need to return the favors. Raiding with only one person is kind of silly, but yeah, what the hell. It'll be a very meager raid of one person. He's kind of cool. He's the one that gave me the idea of raiding other small-time creators, or people with small audiences to help build a community and stuff. I think that's really neat. So here's my meager raid. Anyway, that's it for the stream. Until next time.